Hello everybody, today we're going to be doing a comparison between the brand new, hot off the shelf Kindle Paperwhite 11th generation versus the latest model of the Kindle Oasis, which is the 10th generation. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about this and wanted to do a side-by-side comparison to see which one is the best. Stay tuned to find out. Now, the Oasis is supposed to be Amazon's flagship device. I mean, this is the creme de la creme. This is the magnum opus of e-readers, but is it better for a lot more price than the new Paperwhite? If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And check out the description below where I have all the Kindle models linked. Okay, let's start with the design. The Paperwhite on the left, they've increased the screen from 6 inches to 6.8. Now the Oasis is still bigger, it's 7, but you really can't tell that the Oasis has a larger screen. But the Paperwhite is taller and it's thinner, and this one's a little bit wider and more square shaped. But all in all, I'd say the screens are very similar. Besides the shape, the overall materials are different too. So this has still got this nice rubber back. It's a lot easier to hold on to. I like the feel of it. It's balanced. Yeah. But this Oasis has got a much different design. It's got this thick handle part, and you can hold it either on the left or on the right, and the page will, here, let's do that. The pages will orient based on whether you're holding it that way or that way. And come on, change back. There it goes. And you see how this has got a handle. It's got a handle on the back, and this is much thinner. This is aluminum back. Feels very premium, very nice. And I love the buttons. Buttons are hard to beat. That tactile feel when you're reading a book gives you a little bit of a sense that you are reading an actual book, even though you're not. It's not like, you know, I guess you're doing something to turn a page and it does feel good. But this does get a little bit slippery. And this feels good in the hand. But something else to note is that the bezels are much thinner. So let's bring on the previous one, and you see how the bezels are much smaller, and normally that's good, right? Get out of the way. Normally that's really good, but the problem is when you go to grab it, this new one, I really like the screen, but you have to be careful where you put your thumb, because if you obviously touch it, it's going to change the page. So I think you'll have to be that. I'll have to be more careful. Overall, as far as the design goes, I think both feel really good in the hand. This one, I used to really like this one, but I noticed that if I don't have my case on it, then my fingers can slip. Maybe I have sweaty fingers. I don't know. But if I'm reading in bed, well, one, it gets a little slippery, and you can't really use the buttons when you're holding it above your head. When you're sitting down and you're reading, it's totally fine, just because it's at an angle, the gravity. But here it becomes a little more difficult. But with the case, this is easy to hold on to. And on the Paperwhite, yeah, it feels good. It feels like you could hold it above. A little less real estate though. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys read in bed like this, or is it just me? And I usually just use my bottom finger, and this is how I normally hold it. So this is my support system here. And I do this on both of them. So this is fine, but you can't, but you still have to raise your arm. I know, first world problems. You have to raise your arm to change the page, but it works. And this rubbery, sticky back really does feel good, and it's not gonna go anywhere. One thing I forgot to mention on the new Paperwhite is it has a warm light feature, which is nice. So if you want that amber, just amber that up. Gives a nice warm orangey glow. That's pretty high. And the Oasis has had this for a while. And they both get really orange. So you can mess with that and see which one is best for your eyes and your reading condition, but it's nice to know that the new Paperwhite has this option. Speed test. Let's do a 0 to 60 test between these two. Oh wait, let's call it a 0 to 10 page test. Let's start with the Paperwhite. On your mark, get set, and go. That's pretty fast. Let's try on the Oasis. On your mark, get set, go. You know what? We should be using the buttons here. That seems snappier than the Paperwhite. I think this one wins. Someone was saying that there is some differences in RAM and the processor. You have to let me know. I don't know the exact specs. I'm just giving you the real world test here. Let's check the speed of the highlighting between these two. Paperwhite. It's pretty quick. And the Oasis. Maybe just a hair faster on this one. Both are quick though. Next on the list is battery life. On the new Paperwhite, this is supposed to be up to 10 weeks. So that's a pretty long time. That's really good. And then on the Oasis, it's 6 weeks. Now these are Amazon's numbers, 10 weeks and 6 weeks, but we all know that in real world testing that the batteries are not going to last as long. I haven't had a chance to long-term test this one yet, but I know on my Oasis, it says it's 6 weeks, but I bet I get, if I read every day for an hour, I bet I get about 2 weeks. But if you keep the wireless off, you put these in airplane mode, and you turn off Bluetooth, you turn off, and you lower your screen brightness, you might be able to achieve that. A long-term video will prove that or not, but most likely you'll get a lot less, but it's still good. Here we have the new Paperwhite for $139.99. I think that's a pretty good deal. You'll have to tell me what you think. You can save some money too if you trade in an older Kindle. That's nice. So this price, $140, is for the 8 gig and ad supported. So the ads are just, Amazon recommends books, and you can, sometimes it's helpful, but you swipe away and then the ad goes away. It's not a big deal, but hey, for $20, you can get rid of those ads, and that's nice. So 8 gigs, ad supported, $140. Now $190, this is the same one, but it has 32 gigs, so 4 times the storage, plus wireless charging, and that's a bonus, plus no ads. So if you're already spending $160 for no ads, they kind of get you, to make you want to spend 30 more bucks and get the wireless charging plus the more storage. So those are the two main ones that came out, and there is a kid-friendly Paperwhite that's new as well. For the Oasis, it's $249.99. Quite a big jump in price, $110. You do still save some money if you trade in an older Kindle. And again, this is for the 8 gigabyte version. The 32 gig is $279, so only $30, and you can quadruple that storage. Again, this is ads, and you can pay a little bit more, and you can get it without the ads. So is it worth it? You get the buttons, you get the 7-inch screen. You get the aluminum back. It's really nice, but does it warrant the huge jump in price? Let's take a bird's eye view and put these side by side on the spec sheet. On the left is the new Paperwhite. On the right is the latest Oasis. 6.8 inch display versus the 7-inch. Not a big deal, but they're just shaped differently. Rectangular, more square. Both have the amber light. That's nice. This has got the rubbery back, which is easier to hold. Feels maybe a little bit cheaper, but maybe I shouldn't go that far. The aluminum, though, feels awesome on the Oasis, but it's slippery. Touch only on the Paperwhite. You don't want to, put your thumb too far to the left because you might change the page. This is awesome with the touch and the buttons. A lot of people, I think, get the Oasis for the buttons. That was one of the reasons why I got it. Battery life on the Paperwhite, 10 weeks. Oasis, 6 weeks. But we know that both of these are going to be less in the real world. But I still think in the end, the Paperwhite will have better battery life. Both have IPX8 water resistance. But who reads the stuff in the bathtub? I don't know. Maybe you do. Let me know. I guess the beach. Yeah, beach is a big deal too. Both have the 8 gig and 32 gig storage option. This I put fast page turns, and this I put faster page turns, because I do think the Oasis is a little bit snappier, and I think that the highlighting is still a little bit quicker. New on the 11th gen Paperwhite is USB-C. And that's more modern than the micro USB still on the Oasis. 17 LEDs for the Paperwhite. That should be bright enough for most people, but the 25 LEDs do increase that brightness on the Oasis. Now for the kicker, the big difference, $139.99 for the Paperwhite and $249.99 for the Oasis. So taking in the difference of the designs, the battery life, and the price, which one would you go with? I think the Paperwhite runs away with it. Now looking back, I already have a Oasis, but if I had this choice now, I definitely go with the Paperwhite. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment, ask a question. I promise I'll get back to you. And all the links for the Kindles right to Amazon are in my description, so check those out. I do get a small commission, but that helps me keep making videos. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.